Hello everyone, it's Bianca Vanessa out here. I'm so excited about today's video because we're going to be talking about sunlight, which is one of my favorite things in the whole entire world. I am a heliophile. My husband is a heliophile, and we just love being out in the sun. But today I'm going to talk about how to do it safely and naturally in order to protect yourself and your body, which is and our skin, which is like the largest organ of our body and is so beautiful and sacred. So we'll go ahead and get started in that in just a bit. First, I want to thank you guys who expressed interest in my new partnership with Thorn and with my new website coming out. I'm so excited with how everything just kind of flowed into place. Just to give you guys a background on where I was about 2 or 3 months ago, I was working a horrible, horrible job. Not even a 9 to 5. It was more like a 7 to 5 or a 7 to 6. And I won't talk too much about what I did, just know that I was an educator and I have a master's degree. And it was just really soul depleting. I was inside all day throughout spring. I was, still taking care of my baby at night and having to wake up at 4:30 in the morning to exercise and not coming home till 6 on some days and still being expected to do work in the evenings, which I just never did. It was just way too much. And I told myself that this summer I was going to go through a transformation and a reinvention. And I was going to revamp my nutrition business because I've made money through my nutrition business before. And one regret I had was not keeping up with it because if I had, I'd probably be in a different place by now, but it's totally okay. It was a learning experience. And I'm still so grateful that I'm a certified holistic nutritionist, that I can still get my website and my business going and these partnerships. And with that being said, I really want to thank Thorn for selecting me to be an ambassador. Here is my online dispensary. Some really cool things about Thorn and my nutrition business is that now through my Thorn dispensary, I can now give my clients recommendations on supplements. The cool thing with Thorn and my nutrition business together is that through my dispensary on Thorn's platform, I'm now able to email my clients directly from Thorn with an entire recommendation list. This recommendation can be anything from supplements to nutrition to exercise to lifestyle factors, and all of that will be connected through Thorn. And I think it's great because most, if not all, of my clients have used supplements or have asked me what kind of supplements I use. And I've been using Thorn since 2016. One of the things I love about Thorn is that it is one of the most affordable, high quality supplements you can find. For example, the iron bisglycinate is $16, trace minerals is $25. And now, if you use my link, which I'll go ahead and link below, there's a 25% off discount until the month of June. And for my clients specifically, I offer continuous discounts. So if you're interested in scheduling a one on one consultation with me, go ahead and click the link on my website to get that set up. And then you can become my client, and recommendations will stay with you forever, which is awesome. So you will get lifetime discounted supplements through one of the highest rating supplement companies in America. One of the awesome things about Thorn is that they actually partnered with the Mayo Clinic for research. So whenever you read statistics on the supplements, like talking about the bioavailability or talking about how the supplement works in the body compared to other supplements. All of that is coming in from the Mayo Clinic, which is awesome. They are one of the purest, if not the most pure supplements that we can find today. I mean, the testing of it is just insane. They are tested twice for purity. The transparency of Thorn is also amazing. For example, Thorne has a no list. So if there is a certain supplement on the market or a certain ingredient that is shown to be risky for humans, Thorne will say, no, we are not going to use that supplement. If something comes out through scientific research that a specific ingredient is no longer considered safe, Thorne will discontinue that supplement and they'll let you know in an email that it has been discontinued. Furthermore, if safe levels change, change with an ingredient or in a supplement, you'll also get an email saying that an ingredient content has been changed, and it comes into your email. Thorne lets you know why. For example, you can only take 2 pills of a certain supplement instead of 4. And I just love that kind of transparency. I've never seen that with any supplement brand that I've ever used. So I'm a big believer in Thorne, and you can go ahead and click the links in my bio or underneath this video if you want to learn more about them and just check out their website because they have amazing resources. Okay, now let's go ahead and get into what this video is going to be about. So today we are talking about raw sunlight and its indirect uses for weight loss. A lot of us know that in the summers we tend to weigh less. I mean, this is just, it's easy. We eat lighter foods, healthier foods. We're more active. We swim more. We run more. We walk more. We are out with friends. We're dancing. And we're just doing a lot of things that burn calories more often than when we're just inside at 6 p.m. on a winter night because it's too cold to go outside, which is why I do not like winter at all. I am such a summer oriented person. But we're going to talk about how sunlight indirectly influences weight loss and why I think sunlight is one of the best tools you can use to lose weight, which is why I always look forward to summer because I know in the summer I'm just going to be leaner and tanner and I just feel better in the summer, especially here in Texas. I live in the Austin area, so we get sunlight for more than 300 days out of the year, which is just awesome. So, one of the ways that sunlight can indirectly influence weight loss is by resetting your circadian rhythm. Something I've been doing for the past maybe 3 or 4 years is every morning I'm outside. I really do not like being inside in the mornings. I just think it feels very like depleting and unnatural to me. One of my favorite things to do is go for a walk with my baby, or if we have our childcare here, I go ahead and I go for a run or I go for a short walk after I eat. And I make sure I really, really prioritize getting morning sunlight on my face. Right now it's 10:30 a.m. and this morning sunlight is just awesome and makes me feel really whole and rejuvenated. And also for my baby, I love for him to get morning sunlight because it helps his circadian rhythm as well. He's almost a year old and he sleeps through the night, which is just a huge blessing for mom and dad. So I'm a big believer in getting morning sunlight to stabilize that circadian rhythm. With that circadian rhythm, when our circadian rhythm is in check and we're getting good sleep, that leads to better leptin and ghrelin levels. Ghrelin is the hormone that tells us when we're hungry. So when those are dysregulated, we might have ghrelin going crazy and just constantly being excreted, which is also an indirect hit for dopamine. Like if we're really sleepy, we might turn to food to help us feel better, when really, if we had gotten good sleep, we may not have needed more food for energy. So it helps regulate ghrelin. Furthermore, it helps regulate leptin, which is a satiety hormone, which tells us when we're full. So I noticed, especially when I was sleep deprived with my baby, I mean, granted, I was also breastfeeding, but I tend to be a lot hungrier if I don't get good sleep. I'm just like searching for food and like constantly grazing all day. And I know it's because I did not get good sleep. So if we get sunlight, our circadian rhythms are balanced and we can get good sleep, which is just awesome. The other thing is that it's not widely researched, which I hope someday in the future it will be, but there have been small trial studies showing that vitamin D, either coming from sunlight sources or synthetic supplement sources, has been shown to have a small decrease in BMI as well as waist circumference. So, those who had not been getting adequate levels of vitamin D, who then do, show some weight loss or some circumference decrease, which again needs further study, and it was more of an observational study. So the actual mechanism of vitamin D and weight loss wasn't really shown, but hopefully sometime in the future it will be. The last thing I'll kind of talk about is a little bit of a bonus. So I will show a picture here of when I was afraid of the sun and was always using sunscreen and was never outside. You can see here that I did hold on to more weight during these years. That was because I was in college and I was very isolated, so I didn't really do anything outside. Um, But one of the cool things whenever you get tan is that you actually look more toned. So that can also kind of help you create this like illusion of being toned, which is one of the reasons why I do like being tan. With that being said, I'll go ahead and talk a little bit more about the sun and what I think about sunscreen. I've had a lot of people in recent years ask me if I use sunscreen because I was always in the sun, marathon training, and doing things. And yes, I do wear sunscreen, but it's not every single day. And I'm also very careful about what sunscreen I use. So to get started, I do make this shea butter lotion, which does have a natural SPF of about 10, and that's just shea butter, jojoba oil, and like a few drops of lavender. And I'll put that on my face and on my skin every morning. Right now, I'm just using rosehip oil, and I'm not exactly sure what the SPF of that is, but every morning I put some kind of barrier on my skin. If I'm going out in the afternoon, I like to use a natural sunscreen. Right now I'm using Sunbum, but I will most likely be going back to applying my shea butter or a tiny, tiny pinch of coconut oil and carrot seed oil, which has been shown to have an SPF of 40, which is amazing. So, carrot seed oil for the win. But yeah, I do use some sunscreen. Right now, I think I'm tan enough. I've been going without sunscreen for about 2 weeks. And so right now I'm using just a mild 30 SPF natural sun lotion when I go outside. I don't really reapply it. I try not to, but I'm also not outside for very long. So when I am outside, I'm outside for maybe 45 minutes to an hour. If I'm going outside without any sunscreen, I limit that to only 10 minutes. Most of my sunlight comes from the morning or from the evening, and out in the afternoon is when I'm much more strategic about my sunlight. I want to remind you guys, you do have to be strategic about sunlight. You do have to eat well. One of the reasons why we get sunburned easily is if we have higher levels of free radicals in our body. So, in order to combat those free radicals, we need to have a lot of antioxidants, antioxidant rich fruits, vegetables, a lot of antioxidant rich water, or liquids or juices in order to combat that and to help prevent sunburns from happening. So, when you're getting sunlight, the kind of diet you are also receiving is crucial to your skin health, right? So, it's not just like going out into the sun and eating junk food and then wondering why you're so sunburned because you have a lot of oxidative damage that has to be combated. So, nutrition and sunlight together work really well and I think can help heal a lot of ailments such as weight loss or depression, which I talk about in a recent video that I'll go ahead and link below how I healed my postpartum depression naturally. A lot of that came from getting raw sunlight early in the mornings around 7:30 a.m. So that's all I have to share about sunlight, and I'm really excited for being here and getting to make these YouTube videos again in this awesome space that my husband and I have manifested and cultivated. So thank you guys for supporting my channel, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon.